Hello.
Hi, this is Raymond from PrintPLANR. Can you hear me?
So I'm speaking to
Raymond,
Raymond. How are you doing?
I'm doing great. How are you?
Oh, very well, very well. Hopefully you can show us some good things.
Yes, definitely. But before I do that, I just wanted to check, is anybody else joining from your team?
Yes, I think Dion will be joining soon, and then my branch manager from Bloemfontein, VP, I think he's also joining us. But so we let's give it a few more minutes. I mean, it did say at 12:30, isn't it?
Yes.
Okay.
Okay. Okay. So let's wait for them.
Yeah,
Uh,
no, that's wait. That's fine. I'm just going to switch off my mic now, but I'll be back at in about 2 minutes.
okay, sure, no problem. Thank you.
Raymond, yeah, I think it's just going to be Dion and myself. The other guy that I invited, he's unfortunately running a bit late, but that's fine. We can brief him.
Okay, no problem. Let me quickly share my screen. Just let me know as soon as you guys can see my screen.
Okay, I can see it.
Yep.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay. To keep you updated, this call is also being recorded for our quality control. But then again, if you want to have a copy of the recording, just let us know and I can share the recording with you guys as well. Okay.
Sure.
Okay. Okay. So we did receive your request wherein you mentioned that you're looking for a CRM system for your sales persons across or close to South Africa. Having
Yes.
said that, what I wanted to understand is that are you looking for a pure play CRM system just to manage customers and leads, or are you looking for a full-blown system wherein you can manage your customers, your jobs, your orders, invoices, etc., etc.?
I don't think we need anything from our invoicing point of view. We use a system called SysPro for invoicing, and that's company wide. I think
Correct,
it's
yes.
more the customer relationship management tool that we need. We would like to see our reps' activity logged on it, and have records of those. Just to give you a bit of an idea, I don't know if you know anything about Lithotech.
I did go through your website, but
Yes.
then again, that is also something that I wanted to talk about. because when you say salesperson, it is purely CRM oriented. But then again, you do have quite a bit of product offerings, which I did go through your website. So
Yes.
that is the reason I asked, like, whether are you also looking for a system to do order management or job management or just CRM?
Just CRM for now.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Hey, Aryan?
Yes. No, it's
Yeah.
just the CRM for now. I mean, if you have obviously modules that you can bolt onto that, we can certainly consider those. The thing, Raymond, is we're pretty unique in terms of what we do. We are traditionally a printing company. You know, we used to print continuous stationery, you know, multi-part invoices, books, and things. That used to be our core business.
Okay.
But since then, we've pivoted, and Lithotech in particular, we sell pretty much anything and everything to our clients. We would sell vehicle wrapping, we would sell gazebos, promotional items, gifting, all forms of printing, whether it's large format screen printing, and whether we do it in our own factories or whether we outsource to other suppliers. So we do a
Okay.
lot of the print brokering as well. So it is such a diverse kind of thing that we do. So we're looking for something that would just slot in quite nicely with, you know, how we could manage all that with our customers, because we currently do not have really a CRM system,
Okay.
and we're just looking to see what would be the best fit.
Okay. 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 So let me talk about PrintPLANR first. I'll talk about the whole system, how it functions. I'll not take too much of your time, and then I'll directly jump into CRM and what are the features that we provide within CRM. Okay.
Sure.
Now, having said that, PrintPLANR is a cloud system, meaning there won't be any software that you have to install on your computer. But when you subscribe, we will provide you with a unique URL or a link, which is based on your company name or a brand name that you prefer, and you can access PrintPLANR from anywhere across the world. Now, having said that, we like PrintPLANR as a product is in business for close to 14 years now, and
Okay.
this is the fifth, and this is the fifth version of the software, because our company, which is our parent company, which is Informace, is into software development. They do cross-platform end-to-end software development, and PrintPLANR being one of their products and also their flagship products. So we keep on constantly introduce upgrades, changes, so that the system is always up to mark to the recent trends and features and functionalities that our customers demand. Okay, so there is no need for you to worry like maybe 2, 3 years or 4 years down the line, this is going to stagnate, because that's not going to happen. Every 6 months, every quarter, there are always regular updates that keeps happening within the system. Now, PrintPLANR was built focusing on the printing industry. Now, PrintPLANR covers all the aspects of the printing industry, be it may digital sheet fed digital print. We can manage that within PrintPLANR. Offset printing, we can still manage that within PrintPLANR. Large format, we can manage that within PrintPLANR. As you mentioned that you also outsource, that is also something that you can manage within PrintPLANR, because we have options for them. And in case if you do promotional items, that again is also available within PrintPLANR to manage them, because we have customers across the globe catering to different sections of the printing industry, and we also have large scale customers who do everything, and they use PrintPLANR to manage all of their order as well. Now, along with this, we also provide you with storefronts. Now, again, these are all are optional. As and when you require, you can go ahead and plug in them. Now, storefronts, we provide two different types. One is B2B, which is specific to a customer, so that they can have their own private portal to order. And the other one is an e-commerce. The site that I just opened is our demo e-commerce site, where anybody can come, like the retail customers can come, view your products, and in case if they want to kind of like order them, they can pay, check out, and that particular order will directly flow into the MI system that we have. So PrintPLANR has everything all integrated together. So as and when you need anything, you can expand. In case if you just need CRM, you can start with the CRM, and later on, in case if you want to get into quotations, order management, job management, etc., etc. And in case if your existing invoice software that you use, if they have the API, we can transfer the information from PrintPLANR over to your invoicing software as well if needed. And in case in future, if you need any websites specific to B2B or retail customers like an e-commerce site, that is also available within our system. Again, all of these are like add-on modules that you can keep on adding to the system. Now,
Okay.
having said that, all of the additional things, the websites and everything, all of them will still link to this system, which is the MI system, Management Information System, because this is where we manage everything. Now, if you observe towards the left of the screen, I have the menu option, a slider menu. Under that, we have CRM. So the focus on this call is with respect to CRM. I'll explain how this works. But other than that, in case if you see down below, we have the rest like quotes to create quotations. In case if you opt for any website, then all of those orders will come in as online orders, jobs to manage your jobs. And we have features like calendar, board, etc., to kind of like be on top of your job so that you can manage them properly. We also have purchase orders in case if you have to issue any purchase orders to your suppliers for procurement, and as such, invoice is still there, and this data can be synced into your accounting software if required. Inventory is available to manage all of your raw materials. It can be sheets, it can be rolls, it can be inks for your large format, etc. So all of that can also be maintained. And products, which is nothing but your finished items. Now, these can be, if at all you would like to create products for printables like business cards, brochures, etc. Everything already pre-made because you have a preset pricing for them, that is possible. Or in case if you want to make use of this products as a catalog for your promotional items, that is also available. So we can go ahead and add, and while creating a quote or a job, we can simply click and choose which product it is, add quantity. If certain variations or options are needed, that is also something that we can go ahead and choose from. So all of these options are there just to keep you updated. Everything is there within PrintPLANR. It's just a matter of your requirement, and as and when you want, you can expand.
Fantastic.
Now,
It's quite flexible, I see. Yeah. Okay.
Yes. So having said that, now let's dive into the CRM. Now, when it comes to CRM, we provide three different options. One is the prospects. Prospects are nothing but leads. We keep them separate because you can focus on them because they haven't yet given you any confirmed order, and as such, you might have quoted them, but they wouldn't have kind of like agreed to the quote, and as such. Customers are those who have actually agreed to go ahead and they quotes like you have won the quote, and it has become an actual job which you are fulfilling. So those we term that as customers. And we have suppliers. Now, salesperson do not deal with suppliers, but in case if you just want to keep a list of all of your suppliers within the system, then you can go ahead and add them within our system as well. Now,
actually, sorry, Raymond, to interrupt. Our sales guys work a lot with suppliers because we're quite often the middleman. So our client gives us an inquiry. We go to a number of different suppliers. We ask them for a price, and we use the most competitive price, and then go back to our customers and quote them. So yeah, we as salespeople, it's almost like we've got clients and we've got suppliers. So that we work with.
Then we can go ahead and add those suppliers in as well. Now, having said that, you need not have to add all of them manually into the system, though we have the add option. As part of our setup and implementation, like after you kind of like subscribe, we will ask you for this information in an Excel file. So in case if you have this information in Excel file, just send it to us, and we do the bulk upload into the system.
Okay.
Now, the most basic information that we ask, and this is also the mandatory information that we ask, is the name of the company. Now, this can be your customer's company name or supplier's company name, and as such. And then we also ask about their contact, at least one single contact name, contact email address, and a physical address to kind of like contact them to. So that is the absolute basic information that we ask: the name of the company, the default contact, their email address, and their address. However, we do understand like there might be certain customers who will have multiple addresses, multiple contacts, several other information as well. And that is also something that we can go ahead and bulk upload into the system. For example, if I open one of the sample customers, and if I click on contacts, if you see I have multiple contacts against this particular customer, again, all of this is uploaded. Multiple addresses as well, again, all of this is uploaded. And in case, let's say, if some of your customers have branches because they are located in different locations and as such, then we term them as departments. Every department can have its own delivery address. It can have its own invoicing address or a contact person and as such. So that setup can also be done. Now, within our CRM, it also allows you to add optional details because the company name, the contact details, the addresses, all of these are something quite essential to manage a customer. But apart from that, in case if you want to save more data in terms of reporting and analysis and as such, then we will also provide you with a customer information screen where all the fields are optional. If needed, whatever data that you need, you can go ahead and add them in as well. We have something like category, which especially comes in handy when you manage your suppliers, because when you're being the middleman or a print broker wherein you outsource jobs to other suppliers, quite often you would like to kind of like have a filtered version of suppliers to choose from. Let's say in case if it is large format, then you would only like to see those suppliers or vendors who provide large format services or maybe
Okay,
few are assigned. Yeah.
so in a summary, you can say, for example, certain printers are like your small printers. You can
Yes.
categorize them together. Your larger
Yes.
printers, your book printers, your
Yes.
large format printers. So that's actually pretty cool because quite often, you need to start off by getting your prices from the right guys.
Yes.
It's okay. That's quite good to know.
So that is the reason we have something called as business categories. We have both for customers as well as suppliers. Suppliers by categorizing by the services. Customers, you can go ahead and categorize them by their industry so that you know from which industry you're receiving quite a bit of orders, so that you can kind of like cater to their needs, come up with product services that provides value for them, so on and so forth. Because these categorizations are all customizable because we will provide you an admin central or settings, as we call it within PrintPLANR, wherein you can create what are those default or what are those custom categories you would like to see on your customer side as well as on your supply side. Likewise, you have a few other optional fields as well. Source, who's referring to. For example, you have to give a commission to the salesperson or for the person who's referring this customer, the job, etc., etc. So those can also be updated. And down below, you can set defaults for the customer, because sometimes what happens, you might be doing a lot of jobs and it becomes hectic for you to kind of like remember what is your arrangement with that particular customer, especially customers who are long time with you. You might have an arrangement like internally you might have an arrangement like, okay, for this particular customer we will only charge them 30% margins or 50% margins, etc., etc. So within a PrintPLANR, under additional information, you can set those defaults. So every customer can have their own margins. They can have their own payment terms. In case if you want, like certain customers are tax exempt, then you can set up default taxes for them as well. And in case if you want to set up credit limit, meaning whenever you invoice a customer and they do not pay, then PrintPLANR will calculate what is the total due. And in case if the total due reaches, it can be from one single customer or across multiple, one single invoice or across multiple invoices. So when the total due reaches the limit that you set against them, PrintPLANR has the ability to ask you or warn you, letting you know whenever you create a portal job, it let you know, hey, this particular customer has reached their limit. Would you still continue to add a quote for them or a job for them? Or if you opt, PrintPLANR can also put a hard stop, meaning unless and until they pay their previous due, you won't be able to kind of like add more orders against them. So these options are also provided within our system. Okay.
Okay.
So that is
that's good to know. But again, like I said, we've obviously got SysPro that we use here, so maybe there's some sort of integration possible. But maybe at a later stage.
So likewise, we also have activities. Now in activities, what happens, like whatever actions a particular user performs. So in this case, your salesperson performs with respect to this particular customer will be available. So if you see, I've done certain things for this particular customer. One of my colleagues has also done a few things, who opens the record, who makes changes to the record, etc., etc. So all of that is listed as a log within the customer. Separate logs are also maintained within a code, within a job, so that you know what are the job actions, everything is done. Along with that, a consolidated customer-specific log is also being maintained by the system. That is the other thing. Now, if you observe, beside activities, we have dedicated lists as well. Though we have modules like quotes, jobs, and everything, but in case if I click on the customer quotes, it will only show them, it will only show us those quotes that we have created for this particular customer. So this will act like a pipeline channel, because it will let you know how many quotes that we've created, what are their statuses, whether it is a new code, whether we won those code, whether we have lost them, whether it is in discussion, etc., etc. So all of those details will be listed so that you can easily monitor them. And in case if you want to open, all you have to do is just click on the quote number, and this will open up in a new screen showing you all the details about the code that you've created. So likewise, you will have dedicated list for online orders. This will only be active if you opt for the storefront versions, which is a print shop, B2B storefront or the B2C storefront. Otherwise, this will remain hidden. So quotes will be always there. Jobs, in case if you opt for job management, then that will also be there. So let's say when the customer calls up the salesperson saying like, hey, I would like to know about this job or that job, though PrintPLANR has the ability to automatically keep your customers updated on certain important statuses of the job, in case if you do not opt for job management, then this is the best place for the salesperson to come and view what are the list of jobs that are there, what are its statuses, etc., etc. So all of that information can also be given to the customer. So they don't have to kind of like look and search for details, but rather just get into the customer screen, and all the details about that customer will be available over here as well, including the invoice. So that will also be listed, whether it is paid, not paid, etc., etc. So all of those information will be available. So the customer screen acts like a one-stop shop for your sales person. They can manage all of the customer details on that one single screen, and they can also view all the details about the quote of the job, again, on a single screen without having to search for things across the system. Now, similar options are also there for your suppliers as well. So let me quickly jump into the supplier. So let me just open one of the supplier. Now, like 80% of what we saw on the customer screen is also available on the supplier screen as well. So the contacts, departments, addresses, activities, the default information, all of them are one and the same. However, in the supplier screen, instead of showing you quotes and jobs, you will find two different tabs. One is RFQ. RFQ is nothing but request for quotation. So this is the process that you spoke about, like you receive an order, so your salesperson will ask for your supplier for pricing, and the supplier provides the pricing. You can add your margins on top of your supplier's price and send a quote over to your customer. So that process within PrintPLANR is called as the RFQ process, request for quotation. So when you click on RFQ, it will give you all the details about how many quotes have been created, whether we have received pricing or not, whether that particular quote has won or not, etc., etc. So those information will be available. And when you issue any purchase order to the suppliers, those lists will also be available. So whether we are waiting for any authorization, whether the goods have been delivered or not, etc., etc. So under statuses, those information will also start appearing. So within suppliers, you will see the RFQ details as well as the purchase order details within the supply screen. Contacts, departments, address books, all of this will work as I showed you on the customer screen. Now, one thing that I missed on the customer screen, which is also there on the supply screen, are emails. So whenever you send out emails, now for the customer, you might send out quote email, or in case if you want job management, then you might send out like job confirmation email or invoice emails, etc., etc. Likewise, even for the suppliers, you will send RFQ emails or purchase order requests, etc., etc. So all of those emails are again saved within PrintPLANR, and PrintPLANR will link with your email address. So at the time of setting up the system, we will ask you what is your preferred email address using which PrintPLANR has to send emails. Once you share that, we will go ahead and set it up so that all the emails will go using your email address. So your customers or suppliers will not have any footprint that leads them back to the PrintPLANR system. And in case if you want to just see what was sent, you can just click on that particular email. So it'll show you the details about to whom it was sent, what are the details. In case if there is any link involved or any attachment involved, all of that will be available within that particular email log that is saved within the system. Okay. Any questions till here, team?
Nothing to me at the moment.
Nothing from me. Yeah, it looks pretty interesting. So
Okay.
yeah,
So
tell me these emails. I mean, obviously we use Outlook and we use Office 365. Are these emails automatically kind of captured from there, or is it linked together, or I mean, do you have to send the emails outside of PrintPLANR?
No, the emails will be sent from within PrintPLANR. Now, anytime you create any quotes, jobs, or purchase orders, all of this can be sent from within PrintPLANR. And when they reply, you will receive this in your Outlook automatically. So you need not have to kind of like draft emails outside PrintPLANR and send it, because within our settings, we have the option of creating your documents. This can be your quotation document or purchase order document, the PDF versions of the quotes, purchase orders, jobs, invoices that you send. All of that can be created within PrintPLANR. Likewise, all the emails for some customers, you would like a specific draft and a format of email. For different suppliers, you would like a specific format and a draft of an email. All of that can also be created and saved within these settings. So we call them as system templates as well as the email templates. So what happens is you need not have to do anything. PrintPLANR will automatically fetch this information, which I will show you when I create a quote. PrintPLANR will actually real-time fetch information from the quote, your desired information, as per the instructions you've given in the settings. It will pull those information from the quote, and it will automatically draft the email for you along with the document. And all you have to do is just send the email along with the attachment or any document over to your customers or suppliers. It's as easy as it is. And when they reply, you will receive that reply in your Outlook. Okay. So any questions on emailing?
Not from me.
Okay. Now, along with this, we are also working on this is the beta version called as Forecast. As of now, I won't be able to show you anything, but let me just explain what it is. Now, in the forecast, what happens is you can choose a particular salesperson. So here I've chosen myself to be the salesperson, and we can set up a target for them. So July, I have a target. August, I have a target. What is the minimum commitment? What is the best case scenario? How much is in pipeline? How much is closed, etc., etc. So what this happens is, in case if you have multiple suppliers, it will give you a real-time information, like as and when a quote is created, it becomes a job, and then obviously you have a invoicing system. But just to explain, when it becomes an invoice and that gets paid, you can let us know when you want to recognize that particular sale has been closed, when the quote has been approved or when the payment has been made. So accordingly, what happens is a pipeline is built against that particular supplier, against that particular salesperson, letting them know what is the value of their orders that are in pipeline and what is the value of their orders that has been closed. And we are also kind of like working on a drill down version, wherein, yeah, I think it's also there. So what happens is when I expand, it let me know these are the quotes and the jobs that are in pipeline for July, August, September, etc., etc. And in case if you want to kind of like focus on these pipeline and complete them, so that option is also available. So a separate salesperson oriented screen is also there, letting you know their targets as well as their pipeline and what is the total value of that particular pipeline. If you need a full like breakdown of them, then we can break down by month and also show you like what are the quotes, what are the jobs that are still waiting to be completed, so that that pipeline can be closed. Okay. So these are the features that are there within our CRM modules. Any question as a whole, or were there anything more that you were looking for other than what I've just explained now?
Not that I can think of anything now, but I do like the idea of forecast and pipeline and pipeline. That's because that's one of the things that we are actively looking at.
Okay, that is good. So having said that, the next module is the quotation module. Now, this is where your salesperson will actually start building their pipeline, because as and when they create a quote, it starts recording that quote against that particular customer on the customer screen, as well as it'll start appearing on the forecast as well, and its value gets included in its pipeline on that particular salesperson pipeline. Now, let's see how this functions. So let me just click on quick add function, and then let me choose add quote. Now, whenever a salesperson tries to create a quote, there are certain information the system will request. On the first section, it will ask about the customer details. They can click on the customer name, a drop-down will appear, and they can choose from the drop-down, or they can even part type, and from the filters list, they can choose the customer. Now, this can be a customer or a prospect. So as I said earlier, we have both prospects and customers. So this can either be a customer or a prospect. Now, if this person or if this company is not there in your CRM, do not worry. You need not have to create them first and then create a quote. Within the quote, you can just add on the add customer button, and you can quickly add the customer on this screen, which will also be saved in your CRM for your future use. So it works both ways. Now, if this is an existing customer or prospect, the default information will be updated, which you can change. If they have multiple contacts from the dropdown, you can change multiple addresses. Again, by clicking on the icon, you can change. If you have to create new contact or create new address, that is also possible. Now, below that, it will ask about the quote information. Now, whenever a salesperson creates a quote, or you can even call them as an estimator, whichever is convenient to you, you can create a single quote with multiple items. Let's say a customer comes in, they says, hey, I need so many stationaries, I need these promotional items for my company, as well as a banner, because they have like maybe a campaign running, etc., etc. So you can actually create multiple items within one single quote and try to fulfill all of them together. So the quote title is the overall title of that particular order. So in this case, I'll just update this as office supplies. In your case, you can give a different title. If the customer is a company and if they provide a purchase order number, you can update them. But we do have a digital option wherein you can send out a digital link where the customer can see the details, upload their purchase order number, update the purchase order number, etc., which I will show you in about 2 minutes. And below that, you can choose what type of quote you're trying to create. Now, as I said earlier, PrintPLANR covers all the aspects of the printing industry. Now, in case if this is a job that needs to be done in-house, then under item type, you can choose the various options we have, like sheet fed digital, large format, sheet fed offset. And in case if it is a product, then you can go and choose the product as well. Now, if you're outsourcing this to somebody else or the other supplier, at that particular point of time, you can choose Outwork. Now, as soon as you choose Outwork, it will ask you about the item's description. So you can update how many quantities you need. I'll say I need maybe 500 quantities and 1,000 quantities. Now, this depends upon your requirement. We will provide multiple quantity fields when you're actually building a quote, so that either you can have a look at the price comparison, or in case even if the customer requests, you can provide the different price breaks and along with the pricing to the customer as well. It is mandatory to update the first quantity field. The other 3 quantity fields are optional. So here I'm just using 2 so that I can show you how the screens look when it comes to comparing 2 different prices. Down below, it will ask about the specifications of the item. Now, in here, you need not have to kind of like fill everything. In case if this is the first time you're adding about this particular item, or you're specifying about this particular item, then you can simply fill in the information. Otherwise, within our settings, we do have an option wherein you can create a library. We call it as a phrasebook, where all of your frequently used terms, statements, all of them can be saved. So when I'm creating a spec, I need not have to type in this information. I can simply click on, for example, if I click on item title, it'll let me know all the saved phrases. I can choose them. Likewise, for the artwork, if I click, it'll show me everything that is saved against that particular field, and I can go ahead and click them. So I can quickly kind of like fill in this information without having to type the information over here. This is another method. The best method would be, let's say you have quite a bit of details with you. You can go ahead and load them in as products. Even though you don't have a pricing, it is fine. You can still update the pricing as 0 and just update the description about the items with 0 pricing and save them under products. And instead of filling everything, I can just choose this option which says select product and its item description. So this will list all of the products that I have in my catalog. I can quickly choose which product it is, click on that product, and if you see, all the descriptions that you saved for that particular product automatically fills in. So this way your your salesperson will save a lot of time. Now, though you have this, you still have options of fine-tuning them. You might have taken a template, but then again, within that particular template, a certain adjustments needs to be done in terms of specifications. You can still go ahead and make those adjustments in here. So I'm just making those respective adjustments in the description. So once that is done, towards the right side, you can choose the suppliers. Now, even with respect to pricing, if you prefer receiving an email reply from your suppliers, then you can simply email them. But then again, we also provide a link where your supplier can actually update the pricing, and that will automatically add to the quote. So that option is also there. Now, if you want to export that particular option, then we have costing type, wherein I can request a flat price from the supplier. So in case for 500 quantities, 1,000 quantities, these are the specifications of the particular item. So simple costing will ask them for a flat price. If you choose unit-based costing, then they can give you a per unit price. And in case if you need price per 1,000, then that option is also available. So depending upon the options that you choose, the supplier can go ahead and update the pricing in the link. If you have to upload any files for your supplier, maybe an artwork or something, you can still do it. You can either do it now or you can do it later on as well. Down below, all of your suppliers will be listed, and this will be pulled from your CRM supplier list. So this is where it comes in handy. So the topic that we were talking about, that is categorization. So there you can go ahead and update. These are the suppliers who do book printing. These do small time printing, large format, etc., etc. Some will do specialized print. So you can go ahead and categorize them. So as and when for example, if I type in certain keywords, if you see, it will filter out only those suppliers and it will start showing them. So likewise, I can kind of like keep on kind of like typing in those keywords, and based on those, it will show me the filtered supplies that I can pick and choose. If you want to normally scroll, that option is also there. It's not always that you want to kind of like search by category and as such, but in case if you normally would like to scroll and choose, that option is also there. So here what I'll do is I'll choose a couple of suppliers and I'll select them. So as soon as I select, it will show me the condensed version, because out of all the supplies, we've only selected these 3. So they will be there, and I can click on next. And as soon as I do that, it will ask me whether additional pricing needs to be added on top of your supplier price. Now, this is because sometimes you might do design in-house, and you would like to kind of like charge for that. Sometimes the items will be delivered to you, and in terms you might have to deliver it to the customer, so you would like to add a delivery charge to them. Or maybe part of the job is being outsourced, the other part is done in-house, so that you will have to kind of like add a pricing for it. So for all of those additional things, apart from the main details, if there are any additional things, we can make use of a concept called as other cost within our system. And again, this is part of our implementation. We will sit with you, try to understand what are the things that you do in-house, and we will start adding other costs based on your pricing preferences so that you can quickly use them. So here as an example, what I'll do is I'll just add an artwork charge for this particular item. So I'll click on artwork hourly charge. So again, we have multiple methods of calculating pricing. It can be based on quantity, like a unit price times quantity, it will give you a price. Let's say you do not know a value upfront, so you want the system to prompt you with a question. Based on that input that you provide, the system has to calculate. So that is the example that I'm showing here, wherein the system is prompting me with a question saying like, enter an estimated Astro design. I'll say around an hour and a half. And based on the hourly rate that I've already updated, it will give me the cost if you want to mark up that particular price, you can go and do that as well and click on save. In case if you want to kind of like have your own custom formula, and based on that the system has to calculate a value or a price, that option is also there. So we can do custom formula. It can be unit price times quantity, or it can be a question prompter, and based on your answer, the system has to calculate a price. So all of those options are available. So once done, I can simply save, or I can even email. So in this case, I'll choose to email. Now, when I choose to email, I'm not emailing it to the customer. What I'm doing is I'm emailing to the suppliers with the specifications. So let's just give it a few seconds, because it'll take up all of the specifications that we have in here, and it'll start creating a document for us. Now, if you observe, it is showing us some document versions. So this is the default. And again, we can rebrand as part of a setup. We will rebrand the documents in case if you want to change the design, certain layouts to certain extents. We go ahead and customize our existing templates as well. So here, all of the definition is available. The quantity requested is available. Likewise, we have multiple designs, like template designs. We can pick and choose them. And when I click on email, the email is also ready. So if you observe, we have email templates. Now, we don't send out bulk emails to your suppliers. We send out individual emails. So if you see for supplier 1, an individual email is generated, the purchase order is attached. Likewise for the second supplier, likewise for the third supplier. So here I'll just update. Now here I'm just manually emailing this to myself, but you need not have to type in the information. If there are any email address missing, which means the email address is not updated in the CRM, which you can go ahead and do. Otherwise, you can simply click on this edit, and you can choose from the existing contact as well. So both the options are available. Now here, what I'll do is I'll just copy this link, because this is the link your suppliers will receive. Once done, I'll send this email to the supplier. Now, as soon as that is done, a blank quote is generated with just the hourly charge, because hourly charge was calculated internally. But for the entire item, we haven't yet received any pricing from the supplier. So the detail is there, the quantity is there, but there's no pricing available. So that is the reason everything looks blank. We call this as a summary page, because this is that one single screen which will show you all of the details. Left panel will show you the details about the code, the very first item that we created, and how this particular quote is being, this item is being fulfilled, meaning this item is being outsourced. So that is the reason it is letting me know outwork. Now, likewise, in case if I choose to add sheetfed digital, large format, etc., etc., so it'll let us know this item will be printed in-house by sheetfed digital or large format, etc. So that information will also be listed one below the other. Towards the right, if I click on item description, the specification that we have created will also be available against that particular item. So this is that one screen which will show you all of the information. Now let me show you the suppliers next. So when the supplier receives the email, they can either reply back, or in case if they click on the link, this is the screen that they will look at. Again, they will see the description of the item. Mid panel, they have the option to provide the pricing, and in the right panel, in case if they have any questions, queries, they can obviously email you, but then again, they can also chat with you via this link as well, and you will receive this as a notification, and the reply that you send from the PrintPLANR system will also appear with your supplier as well. So this acts like a chat system between yourself as well as the supplier. Now, if the supplier chooses to update the pricing within the link, they can update the quote number. They can update the price. So here I'm just updating a tentative sample price. They can also let you know by when they can finish this job and deliver them to you. If the delivery address is your office address, then they can deliver to you. Otherwise, in case of a customer, then they can directly deliver to the customer as well. They can also choose whether there is a separate cost for delivery cost or not. In case if they need a separate cost, they can say no, and they can update a separate delivery charge as well. If any additional comments along with the pricing, they can update, and they can accept a quote. They can choose to decline as well if they don't want to take part. When they accept and quote, they will see a success message, and you will receive a notification within the system. So let me go back. Let me give a quick refresh on the screen. So if you observe RFQ status, we have selected 3 suppliers, and we have emailed all 3 of them, and we have received 1 response from the supplier. And up top, if you see, we have a bell notification. If I click on that, this will let me know new message by supplier, likewise pricing from supplier, etc., etc. All of those will also be there. If you see, it is 1811. That is the code that we just created. Now, where do we see this pricing? If you click on item actions, so you will find quotes. Now, this is your supplier quotes. So when you click on the quotes, it will actually create a table for you so that you can compare every supplier's pricing with each other. So I've asked pricing from 3 different suppliers, so all 3 of them have been listed. Just one supplier has updated the price using the link, so that particular supplier's price is available. If the supplier does not use the link, and in case of the reply, we can manually update the information here as well. So for example, here I'll just update. So manually we can update here as well and save. Okay, so like this way, you can actually easily compare the pricing. You also have an indicator up top because you can let the system know which quote, like which supply quote should be highlighted. Here I have selected the lowest quote, meaning the lowest price needs to be highlighted from the supplier. The first supplier, which is a 101 supplier, they have quoted us the least. So because including their delivery, it is 270 and 470, this is 275 and 475, and hence that particular supplier gets highlighted. Likewise, you have many other conditions as well, which you can default to. Now you also have an option of marking up your, like adding your markup on top of your supply price. Now this is something that you can decide. We have 2 things within system. We have markup and we also have profit margin. So in accounts, a markup is calculated differently and a profit margin is calculated differently. So based on your preference, in case if you want to use markup, then you can make use of this option. Otherwise, if you want to use profit margin, then that is available on the previous screen, which is on the summary screen. So we can go ahead and add over there. But there are customers, like our customers, who use both. They would like to mark up as an overhead, maybe 10%, 15% overhead. And overall profit margin, they would like to go ahead and add like 50% or 60% and as such. So there are customers who use both. And if you choose to do that, you can also go ahead and do that as well. Now, when you're marking up, you can also define whether your markup has to be a flat rate or it has to be a percentage. Both the options are there. A default markup value can also be updated in the setting that gets pulled. Otherwise, in case if you want to change it, then you can manually change as well. So for example, here I would like to just mark this up by 10%. I can do that. Real time, your supplier price plus your markup value will be updated. And you can choose this supplier and save and close. As soon as you do that, that pricing gets updated to the quote. So as and when all of this is being done, you can also change the like statuses as well, depending upon your preference, because this status again reflects on the customer screen or the CRM customer screen that I showed you on the pipeline, where all the quotes are listed along with its statuses and as such. So even over there, it gets listed. Okay. So here what I've shown you is I've created a quote. We've updated specifications. We've sent a request for quote, meaning RFQ request to your suppliers. We have received some pricing from your suppliers. So the system highlighted whichever supplier has quoted us the least. So we've selected them and their pricing is added to your customer's quote. And this is ready to be sent to your customer. If you have to add more item, I can click on add item and more items can be updated. Otherwise, if this is just a single item, then I can click on quote actions and I can email this to the customer. So before I get into that step, I just wanted to check about the RFQ process, like requesting pricing from supplier. Did I make sense? Do you guys have any questions on that?
I think it's no questions from my side. I think it's pretty self-explanatory.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Okay.
With my side.
Okay. So Yes. Now here what I've done is I've done a very simple thing of like just having the specification, sending it to the supplier. But we do understand sometimes you might source materials from a different supplier, printing from a simpler, different supplier, finishing from a different supplier. So at that particular point of time, it says that the first RFQ will be for the printing. You can choose sub item, you can choose outwork, and the next would be maybe for material, and after that for finishing. So all of them will be listed one below the other: printing, material, and what do I say? Finishing. And below that, in case if you do like design, etc., etc. So all of that will be available. So this screen acts like your bill of materials. Like it depends upon how many parts you update. Here it's just 2 part. One, I've just outsourced the entire printing to the supply, and the other one is your like design in-house. Otherwise, in case if it is like multi-part, making use of the sub item, I can add as many as I want. If I want to add more outwork for different parts, I can go to do that. Other cost for maybe delivery, design, any other charges. In case if you do laminate, like you might get printed outside, but you might laminate it inside or something like that. So for all of that, we can keep on adding sub items so that entire bill of materials gets generated within the code. Okay, and you can choose who can see the values. For example, let's say if certain users should not see pricing or maybe your margins or a markup, then you can hide all of the financial details, or you can hide some of the financial details depending upon your preference from our settings. Now, having said that, while I was explaining about markup, I said we have markup as well as margins. So this is where we have the margins, and this is customer specific. So for this particular customer, the default margin is 30%, so that gets updated on top of the 10% that I'm adding overhead for the supplier. But in case if you want to change this 30%, then immediately you can click on the pencil icon, you can change it, and automatically if you see the numbers change. Or otherwise, if you want to kind of like manually update, so that is also something you can do. So as and when you manually change the subtotal, then it'll automatically reverse calculate to calculate your profit margin as such. So all three options are there within our system. And finally, down below, the selling price that your customer is committing to, and this selling price will include the tax. Again, default tax can be on a per customer basis. However, anytime you make any changes either to the to the pricing and as such, just ensure that you click on save and stay. Likewise, in the item description, in case if you click and make any changes, just click on update so that the updated description will be saved within the code. Now, having said that, let's look at the next step, which is emailing your emailing the code to your customer. Just click on quote actions and then click on attach. Now there are print. Now there are two things. If you want to kind of like attach the design beforehand, then you can go ahead and do that. Otherwise, while emailing also, you can go ahead and attach the artwork if that needs to be shared with your customer for approval. Or we have a separate artwork approval process in case if you have to do back and forth, maybe discussion from concept to creation and as such. Then we have an add-on platform. So this does not come along with the monthly subscription, which acts like a chat system wherein you can share files, keep a log of all them, along with status, etc. So that is also there within the system. However, now let's look at how we can email. Click on print. Now this will again create a preview of the document that you'll be sharing with your customer. Again, we will have multiple documents. In case if you upload any images, meaning the artwork, and if you need a PDF version of it with a thumbnail image and as such, that is also possible. So on this vacant area, the image appears. As of now, I have not uploaded anything, so it's not appearing. In case if I do, that will also start appearing. And there are many other design formats that we have that you can make use of, both for the supplier end as well as for the customer end. So you can pick and choose the template choice, and we can default that as well. Click on email. Similar to the suppliers, even to your customers, an email will be generated. Your quote is also attached, and even for your customers, a link will be available. Now, just to save time, without sending the email, I'll just click on the link. So as soon as the customers click on the link, this is the screen that they will look at. So in case if you've quoted for like 10, 20, 30 different items, all of them will be listed one below the other. Here we've just added one just to save some time. And they will have the option of choosing the quantity. And towards the right, they will have the option of uploading their purchase order as well as updating the purchase order number. So they can update the purchase order number, they can upload. If they want to comment something, they can do that. In case specific to this item, in case if they want to upload any files or artwork, they have the options of doing that as well. So as and when they select, the value gets generated down below. So in case if there are like multiple items, they can choose few, they can decline few. So based on the items that they have selected or approved, only those items totals will generate down below. They can click on approve and submit. System will double check with them. They can click on OK, and they will also see the success message. And this information will come back to the summary page. Now, similar to the RFQ details. Again, even for the customer quote, you will see on-screen status, bell icon status, email status will be available, as well as the normal view. So if you see the very first quote is what we created, office supplies. If you see, we have icons. These icons will let us know what are the actions that we have performed. So even before getting into a quote, you will understand what are the actions that are already done, whether the approval has been received or not, or we waiting for something. So all of those information will be there within the system. Okay. So till now, what we've done is we've requested pricing from the supplier, added our margins on top of supplier's pricing, and we've quoted the customer, and the customer has also agreed to go ahead with this particular item. Now, once done, all you have to do is just click on progress to job. Now, as soon as you click on progress to job, the quote gets archived and the job is created. Now, at the time of creating the job, system will try to double check certain information with you, though the customer has already given their consent to the quantity and everything. In case if they change their mind, they won't be able to go back to this link and make changes. If you see edit option won't be there. So the only way that they can do is like call you. So you will have, since you're the backend user, you have the opportunity of overriding. So instead of 500, if they choose 1000, then you can actually override as well. But in this case, I'll go ahead with the customer's selection. Click on next. And here you can go ahead and create the purchase order. So I'll say purchase order needs to be created for business card because this is being outsourced to one-on-one suppliers. Artwork you're doing internally, so I'll just leave it as it is. Click on next. And here, this particular screen you can ignore for outsourced items. Here you can focus on the delivery because this is the date that you kind of like negotiate with the customer. Like by this date, your items will be delivered. Now, the reason why I'm asking to ignore the other fields are because this particular scheduler is created more in tune with in-house manufacturers. So you can make like we have like artwork date, approval date, production date, completion date. Completion is like internally you completed and delivered, because as and when these dates are selected and the job is created, this will automatically create. Let me just show. So this will automatically show that job on a calendar window as such. So let's say if I am the artwork person and I would like to know how many jobs are there scheduled for me today, I'll just click on filter. We have filter by date type. I'll choose artwork date. Click on go. As soon as I do that, if I scroll down, if you see, I have one job I have to work on. So likewise, in case if I'm in charge of maybe production in-house, I can click on production date, click on go. Then it'll let me know I have no jobs for today. But if I'm in charge of supply chain and delivery, then I can click on delivery date, click on go. Then automatically it'll let me know I have one job today, another job tomorrow, etc., etc. And in case if we have to reschedule something, I can drag and drop as well. And this will automatically change the date in the relevant job and all the other corresponding screens as well. So for calendar purposes, these dates are useful so that you can schedule. So in this case, if you're doing design in-house, then you can make use of the artwork related dates like artwork date, when the proof should be sent, when the approval should be received from the customer. And you can make use of the delivery date because this is the final deadline that you commit to your um, customer. And in case if it is in-house design, then you can also schedule when the production should start, and that particular process should complete, production, finishing, everything included, that should complete within your organization before delivering to the customer. So here I'll just click on OK, and as soon as I do that, the job is ready. Now, the design of the quote, job, and invoice within PrintPLANR is one and the same. So if you observe, the screen still looks the same, but this is the job information because all the titles have changed. The other notable thing is you will not see those two different quantities. In the job, only the approved quantity will be there so that the team can focus on what was confirmed by the customer. And towards the right, if you observe, we have quick links. And in there, if you see, the purchase order is already created. All you have to do is just open the purchase order. You can just review the details. Once, if you see the supply is already selected, the delivery address is already selected, and the details about the items are also available. And you can just double check by clicking on this description. So again, it will show you the description breakdown, because on this field, it shows everything consolidated together. But in case if you want to see that as a breakdown, then you can click on the description and see the breakdown. If all is well, just click on actions, and you can print the document as well as email the request to your supplier to confirm so that they can go ahead and fulfill the request. Okay, so coming back to job summary page. So along with linking with purchase order and everything, if you want to send out job confirmation email, that is possible. For in-house design, for in-house printing, in case if you want to generate job cards, work order tickets, whatever term you would like to use, that is also possible. Again, using the print, we can go ahead and do that. And if you want to create a workflow to follow, like what is the first step, second step, etc., then we will also have a feature called as boards. Now, boards are available both in quote module as well as in jobs module, just so you can monitor the progress of your quotes, as well as in the jobs, you can monitor the progress of your jobs. Now, it depends upon your requirement. In case if you need one board from start to finish, you can have one board from start to finish. Otherwise, in case if you have multiple staff and everybody needs to have their own dedicated board, then you can also create a separate board as well. Because here in my system, what I've done is I've created multiple boards, like a separate for design. This is where my actual flow starts. Separate board for print. In case if it is like outsourced, then procurement, separate board for procurement, etc., etc. So you can create those different boards so that as and when a particular staff's contribution to the job completes, it moves to the next board and they can go about it. So for example, let's say if the designer has completed the job, they can just drag and drop to the last like status, and this will automatically transfer that to the next job. And here, what I've done is the way that I've created my board is from design to printing, and then from printing to procurement to source kind of like materials. But in your case, from design, in case if it has to directly get into outsourcing, then accordingly we can change the status on the boards. This is because all of the headers that you see up top, like ready to print, in printing, print completed, all of these are like customizable, because in our settings, we can create custom statuses, and you can create as many as you want. There is no limit. And using the drop down, I can add a new board. I can choose what status should appear on the board, in what sequence these statuses should be there. In case if you want to apply any predefined filter, maybe it should only show a particular salesperson's jobs, or a particular designer's jobs, or particular account manager's jobs, etc., or a particular equipment's job. Maybe it has to show only large format equipment's jobs, etc. So predefined filters can also be applied so that the data within the board appears accurately. That is one. Now, the other thing is, like whenever a status is changed from one status to another, if an automated notification needs to be sent, that can be sent. So you can pick and choose for what status automated notification should be sent, to whom it should be sent. In case if you want to keep your customer updated on certain important statuses, that is possible. In case if you want to internally send out notification emails, like once the design is done, in the next, if the next person needs to be updated and as such, then an internal notification can also be sent. Or the status is the same, but the notification is for two different person, one for the customer, one for internal. That is also possible. So that can also be done using our board. So calendar is for to look at the due dates so that you're on top of it. Board is to kind of like monitor and ensure that the job is progressing as per the workflow that you have created. And you can customize the workflow as per your requirement. So any questions till here, team, with respect to job management?
No, it seems very comprehensive. So yeah.
Yeah. And finally, it is invoice. Invoice is pretty simple. Just click on progress to invoice whenever you need. It'll ask whether the job needs to be archived or not. In case if you're creating an invoice after the job is completed, then choose a second option and click on continue. If you're invoicing even before the job is completed, then just click on the first option, click on continue, because archiving will remove the job from all of your active lists, the active job list, calendar, board, etc., etc. Because if you observe, every module has an active list. Active are the ones that you're currently working on. Archive are the ones that you've completed. So all of your historical data will be there under archive list, like archive quote, archive job, archive purchase orders, and archive invoices. Once the invoice is generated, from here, if there are any last minute changes that you want to do, you can still go ahead and do that before syncing this information into your accounting software. We do have ready accounting integration with Xero QuickBooks, but I do understand that you're using a different system. And in case if that particular system has an API, then we can create an integration so that both invoice information as well as purchase orders that are created, both the information can be sent to your accounting software so that you will have both the account payables and account receivables data generated within your accounting system. Okay. So that's about it in terms of the demo. I do have inventory products, etc., etc. But here I think I've given you a good enough understanding about our system. So this is a full-blown system. Depending upon a requirement, you can pick and choose what information you need. So CRM, we do have a comprehensive CRM system with the ability to monitor pipelines as well as email from within the system. So you can create quotes and jobs as well. So the salesperson can share details from within our system as a quote, as well as issue purchase orders to your suppliers from within PrintPLANR and be on top of it. And all of that can be like the progress, the status about quotes, purchase orders, everything can be seen under one single screen under CRM. So whichever customer they click, they have a unified screen to see all of the details. Likewise for the suppliers, all of the details about the RFQ as well as purchase orders, they can see that under one unified screen. Any questions or were there any features that you actually want but I might have not shown you? You just tell me in case if it is there, I'll go ahead and show that to you.
Just one question from my side. Obviously, the reps would generally go out and get their quotes from the various suppliers. You know, the system looks great to do that. And then they would submit their quote to the clients. If the client approves it, then obviously the sales support would normally generate the purchase order to the supplier. So, but they will obviously need to generate the purchase order within SysPro because we obviously need a SysPro number. So okay. I suppose they can then log in as the rep. Or are the logins all unique? Can they log in as the rep and then obviously type in the purchase order generated from SysPro and then send that off to the supplier? Is there multiple people that can log into one rep's
yes.
usage? And my second question would be then, is there an overall view from management to look at all the activities?
Yes, so both are available. So for the overall view, every quote will have separate views. You see here to see all of the activities. And on top of that, you will also have a dashboard in case if you need just like an overall number, like a stat and as such. So you will also have a dashboard. And again, you can build your dashboard. What we provide is we provide you stats. As you see here, I've just added 6 different stats. You can go ahead and add as many as you want. It can be salesperson specific stats, or including of all of your salesperson, etc., or type of jobs, or maybe specific to a large customer. So predefined filters can be placed so that automatically the real-time numbers keeps generating within the dashboard. If you want to see data in a graphical format, that is also available. In case if you want to see data in terms of a data table, that is also available. So all three are provided. You can configure depending upon your need, and you can design them depending upon your need as well. Both the options are available.
And then also, would you be able to sort on product code? If we assign product codes to most of our products, would you be able to see how much you're selling in terms of a copy paper, for example, which would be under a product code? Or...
Okay. So product code, let me just double check. I'm not sure about that, but I'll just double check with my team and I'll send you an email. We do have reports wherein we can pull it, sales report and as such, because we can build them pretty easily. But on the dashboard, in case if you just want to see information about how much copy paper was sold for this month or quarter or year, that is something that I'll just double check with my team and confirm.
Sure.
Okay. Any other questions for me?
One more question is the logo PrintPLAN on the top left there.
That will change.
Can that change to like a Lithotech logo if we use this?
Yes. Okay. So as part of the setup, this is a white label solution. So as part of the setup, logo on the system, in the documents that we generate, everything will change. Even the URL will be Lithotech PPlanner .247 or whichever domain. All of that will change.
Okay.
And obviously, emails we link with your email so that even the email that is sent from within PrintPLANR will be on your email domain.
Okay. And then also, Raymond, well, I mean, just a question in general. Do you have any customers in South Africa already?
Yes, we do have a customer in South Africa.
Okay. And would you do this worldwide?
Yes, we do this worldwide. Africa is a market that we're penetrating. We do have a large manufacturing company using our system in South Africa. We also do some amount of outsourcing, but they're mostly into book manufacturing and commercial printing. But all over the world, we have like quite a bit of, I would say 60% is manufacturing, 30% is print brokers, and print, like promotional companies are upcoming now. We have somewhere around 15 to 20% who are promotional companies, but those promotional companies are mostly focused in the US and the Australian region.
Okay.
Any other questions for me?
Dion, anything from your side?
No, good my side, thank you.
Okay. So in case if you've missed any questions, please feel free to email us and we'll be there to help you out. We'll reply back to that email. In case if the question is a little bit complicated, then I'll arrange another call and explain how that works.
Okay. And then how does your pricing model work?
Pricing is on a per user basis. So it depends upon the number of users who will log in. So we will share you a quote wherein we will provide you the user slabs at the prices. You can pick and choose from there. But just let us know how many users will be using the system, and then we can create a more custom quote for your requirement.
Okay, because also we would have obviously Cape Town, although Lithotech is spread up around South Africa with various manufacturing and sales offices.
Okay. Each
unit would kind of almost run at it as its own setup. I mean, we wouldn't want to see anything that Joburg is doing, for example, or Bloemfontein or PE. So yeah.
Okay, so if that is the case, what we can do is, if I get into, but all the branches share the same branding, correct?
Yes.
Yes, yeah, what would be, yes.
So if that is the case, when we are creating a user, we can actually create departments. So you can have like Johannesburg, Pretoria, Cape Town, etc., etc., etc. So you can create multiple departments. And when we are creating the users, we can assign that department to the user. So when I'm actually adding a user, yeah. So I can
So
assign.
they'll pull in their own letterheads, for example, or their own addresses on their own suppliers.
Yes. So letterheads, okay, addresses needs to change. So addresses, I'll double check. So the things that changes is the department will change. So their own customers, their own suppliers, their own records. So let's say if I am from Pretoria and the customers created by the Pretoria's salesperson, or the suppliers created by the Pretoria's salesperson, and I'm also a part of that particular team, then only those people who are working in the Pretoria department can see those customers, suppliers, those quotes, jobs, invoices, purchase orders, etc., etc. Someone from Cape Town or Johannesburg will not be able to see Pretoria's details. So that is how it works. Address is the only thing that I have to double check, meaning whenever a document is sent from, let's say, Johannesburg's department, then the branding will still remain the same, but the address will has to reflect Johannesburg's department rather than the maybe your headquarters or something like that. So I'll double check. But yes, in terms of showing details within PrintPLANR, then based on user departments, only their departments, customers, suppliers, quotes, jobs, and invoices will be visible to them.
Okay.
Any other questions for me?
No, not from me. Yeah.
All good on my side.
Okay. So yes, as I said, in case if you have more questions, please feel to email. There are 2 questions from your side, which I have to double check with my team and confirm, which I will do over an email. Okay.
Okay. Thanks, Raymond. Thanks very much for your time. We'll discuss internally. From my side as the sales manager, I think this is it's ticks quite a few boxes of what we're looking at.
Okay.
Obviously, there's other factors as well that's going to depend on this, but thank you very much.
No problem. So I'll share the quote with you. I'll also share a recording as well in case if you want to revisit and review the system. Any questions, just let us know and we'll be there to help you out.
Thank you.
No
Thank
problem.
you. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Have a great day ahead. Take care.
You too. Bye.
Cheers.